Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. Today is Wednesday, August 9th, 2026. My name is Katie. This is the Atelier Nikazuki live stream. And we are just going to go in and get logged in here. One moment. That's me. 37 days to knit sooner. Holy shit. I'm like, oh my god. Anyway, we're prepped with snacks. We're going to be doing interfacing for Kato and the remaining water bottle bags. And then, yeah. Just get this posted to the Instagrams. So we've got, I did not get, yeah. Well, yeah, I'll jump into this in a moment. I'm like, yeah. All right, a link to the YouTube. Also, welcome to all the new YouTube subscribers. We've jumped from like 902 to like 907. So thank you to everyone who joined us. The slurry wall. Okay, just there we go. Just gonna snag that so I can watch it later. Put it into my All right. Meow. Meow. Meow, 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 meow. All right. So, yeah. Hi. What's up? What you screaming at me for? She's like, yeah, whatever. I just screamed at you and now I'm done. See ya, lady. Okay, these are all for these ones. I'm just gonna line those up. So we're going to cut the interfacing for these first. Then I can't remember why, but I don't have, or I have white thread in the machine right now instead of black thread, even though the things that I'm working on are the dark thread. I'm like, what is going on? So we'll have to figure that out in a bit. Today we are going to work on getting the rest of the fusible interfacing cut, and then we're going to work on getting the fusible fleece, not just interfacing, fleece cut, and then we're going to work on getting the Kato ready with its fusible interfacing. I could go in and actually do a bunch of cuts for this, but whatever. We might need, I don't know if we've got enough lining. We might have just enough. I don't know. It doesn't really matter right now. We did get our new interior tags. They look really fucking good. I'm happy with how they came out. Cat is a little bit bright, but that's fine, whatever. And it's got all the important information. So, yay! New interior tag supplier. Yes, it's off AliExpress because the supplier I have in Calgary can't do satin tags like that. And yeah, that's what I want for these for these products. So, and plus we use them for the exterior like fold over tags, like for the dice trays and whatever else I can use them for. So my brother-in-law is on the task of getting the leather cut, so I'm very happy there. I'm just going to unroll this whole thing because I'm pretty sure that we are going to just use all of it, and if we don't, we're going to cut it down anyway, and we'll just tuck it away for later. Actually, I don't think, never mind. So 7 yards, 36 inches per yard. 7 times 36 is 252 divided by 8. Oh, actually, no, we are not going to use all of it. Okay. I did order 2 because what ended up happening is I need to hit the shipping threshold. And this is backup too. We used this when we were in Victoria this past weekend or week. Holy shit, was it ever useful? Eldest was like, okay, so I made both the eldest and the youngest one. Eldest has kept track of theirs. Youngest, like, almost instantly lost theirs. Don't ask why. I don't know how. I can't find it. They can't find it. Dallas hasn't seen it. So it's just like, oh my God, child. So anyway, so we only tested it with one child. But the one child that tested it, it was so fucking useful. Because it meant that I didn't have to carry the water bottle around all the goddamn time. I did a bit, but then it was still in a bag, which made it way easier to, like, have with me. So nice. Yes, these need to be trimmed down afterwards, but honestly, just putting them with the fabric means that at least everything gets matched up. They'll get trimmed down before they get put under the press. So, anyway, it's good. Vacation was... I'm glad to be home. It's one of those trips. I'm sure everyone has had one. Yeah. My brother-in-law and future sister-in-law have decided to postpone the wedding we're supposed to be at in October, which is good on them if they need that. Obviously they did, because that is not a light choice to make. But yeah, it means that we ended up being grilled about a lot of details while we were out because we were around family. It's like, oh my God, you're literally gonna see him in 2 weeks. You can grill him when he's out here. One second, I do need to respond to that. It's Caroline texting me. Alright, we're just organizing some stuff for Knit City together, so hopefully Yuki doesn't have to rent any tables for the booth, but we'll see. Alright. Kiddos, we're not doing a full week of summer camp this week. They're gonna go for... Youngest has a staggered entry day next week for kindergarten, and so the eldest, I'm going to send them for a day by themselves, just because next week Dallas is out of town for what was supposed to be the bachelor party. Now it's just a fishing trip. And then, yeah, and then I'm going to send them both on Friday. So I probably won't be on streaming too much this week. Well, yeah, because they're not going to be at camp. But if I can get the energy up to get on overnight, then I will. Especially since we have 37 days. I can't believe we're only 37 days out. I'm like, cue a slight panic right now. Well, Tara's going to come out and help this weekend. So what I want to get done is I want to get all of this prepped. And then I'm going to sick her on running the steam press probably. And then I'm going to cut canvas. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. So today and tomorrow and Friday are going to be focused on getting stuff ready for her to do. And then while she's here, I'm going to cut the canvas and she can run. Yeah, I think that's the best way to do it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's not a big deal. Everything will get done, right? I need 2 weeks for the... Fuck, I need 2 weeks for the small box bags. And that's like full-on hardcore. Nothing else. Oh, God damn it. I have 5 weeks. But we're also transitioning to homeschooling like 2 weeks from now. Fuck. Everything will be fine. Everything's gonna be fine. We're okay. We do have almost all of the webbing straps done. I was mentioning, but I don't know what happened, but we have white thread in the machine right now. Weren't we just working on dark straps? Because the dark straps aren't finished yet. So I must have what was I finishing right before I left? I can't even remember right now. I got maybe a quarter to a third of the grime guards actually elasticed while we were gone. We were busy actually. We didn't sit much this trip. So normally it's like I don't bring enough to do in the downtimes. I get bored. But this time we didn't have a lot of downtime. So, which is kind of cool because it means that the kids are able to go a lot harder than they used to be able to. But yeah, it meant that I didn't actually end up getting a lot of work done. I feel like, Katie, you could have done it in the truck. I know. But like at the same time, I'm like, as much as I need to be head on, head down, get shit done, I also need a bit of a break. So I don't know. I was like, then you're rejuvenated and could get more work done. No, that's not how it's going right now. Anyway, I am whining. Sorry. It's one of those days apparently. Cat problems. All right. We are almost done here at least. It does look like I did not cut the Polypro for these yet, so we will do that. Maybe that's one of the things I'll do on Saturday while Tara's here so we can match up. If I don't do it before, we need to do the Kato anyway. Okay, so yeah, when I do the Kato cuts of Polypro, we'll do these cuts for this. There we go. Okay, so that's useful. I've got extra of that. I'm going to turn this on to work so that I'm not getting disrupted all the time. Okay. I am going to, even though we're not going to actually press these today, I'm going to cut everything down and have the stack ready. That is the goal. Current goal, get the stack ready. This is a good overview for anyone who is looking for these guys. So these are going to be water bottle holders. I know I fully full scent committed on these before we really tested them, but we tested them on this trip and oh my God, so good. So good, guys. Eldest was able to carry their water bottle everywhere, on hikes, on the beach, just randomly to the playground. And then when I had to carry it, at least it wasn't taking up hand space. Their water bottle's small enough that I could put my phone in with it if I wanted to. Even though I have my purse, sometimes it's just easier to have it as a side bag item. Dallas is like, you should add a pocket to it. And I'm like, no. The whole point of this is it's easy and it's cheap to produce. Well, kind of cheap. It's not okay, lower cost item because I'm like, pockets add time, man. I'll probably add a pocket version after this, but right now we are just, no. not the point of this one right now. This one is like, I want to produce them for Knit City mostly, but honestly, or produce them so that they're ready for Knit City. But the bigger one is I want them for Art Market, and I want them to be a lower cost, like, but still like mid cost. There we go. Not lower cost. Mid cost item for Art Market is the big one. So, oh, I did finish the next Dungeon Crawler Carl, by the way. Now I am on the Butcher's Masquerade, which I think is 5. Is it 5? I don't know. I'm definitely going to want to go in. So basically what I'm doing right now is I'm reading them on my phone, because the library, I was able to get all the rest of the books on my phone through the library. I thought I had found a clever workaround for Kobo not having them in their catalog because they're Kindle exclusive. Turns out that basically, as my understanding of it is that with the Kobo, you're basically getting from the library like a temporary license for products within the Kobo library. That's important. Dungeon Crawler Carl is not within the Kobo library because Matt Dinneman retained the digital rights. He's able to still publish on like Kindle Unlimited, blah, 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 blah. But I can still read them on my phone. And honestly, with the wait times for the other books, what they are through the library, I'm just like, okay, this is what we're going to do. So I'm like just over a third of the way through Butcher's Masquerade. Really enjoying the series so far. Like really enjoying it. It's a nice, different series compared to a lot of what I've been reading recently. And then the other one I'm listening to, or I just finished last night, was Beauty in Autumn by Ruby Dixon. It's a like 2-hour audiobook with like a Beauty and the Beast. Smutty Beauty and the Beast retelling. That's what it is. Not ACOTAR style, like more Angela. Oh my God, what is her last name? Angela. She wrote The Bloody Chamber. Angela Carter. More that vibe than ACOTAR vibes. Anyway, yeah, but things are going good. Got a baby shower this weekend. I did sign up. I will be at the Rick Rack Rummage sale on the 31st with my like fabrics to destash. Yeah, that'll be good because I'm kind of like, they kind of aren't selling on the website. So I'm like, maybe it's like $20 for a table. So I'm like, I may as well be at this sale for that weekend, which will be good. Yeah, I'm excited for that actually. I need to go through and remeasure and do a proper like, they're like, use masking tape. And I'm like, that is brilliant. So I'm going to do that in preparation for that probably next Saturday. So, yeah. And it's the end of, like, how is it already the fucking end of August? It's ridiculous, to be honest. Yeah. Feels like we barely started summer. And it's almost done. I feel like this is going to feel a little bit more open once the kids are out of a, like, strict school kind of thing, right? Not that we're not going to have stuff that like starts in September. We're going to always have like guides and scouts, but yeah, I do feel like having this like staggered entry at the end of August is really like putting a nail in the coffin of summer. I also had to figure out what the hell I need for the eldest for homeschooling. I'm like, so this is really cool. I didn't know that our school district did this, but all elementary school students in our district have their supplies supplied. Awesome. I fully support this. That's amazing. The problem is that that means that there's no lists for the elementary school students. So now I'm like, okay, I know we need like paper and pencils. Like, what else do I need to do the schooling? Glue sticks for some art projects and stuff, I guess. I also need to clear out I always call them the Crafter's Bane towers. Those like plastic towers with all the drawers, and they're super useful and super useless at the same time. But as soon as you get rid of it, because you're like, I won't use that, you think of a use like 6,000 uses for them. So I have 2 of them. Currently, the one upstairs is holding like tea party stuff and the upstairs markers and things. But I'm thinking I've got another one down here that's holding some of my stuff. And again, it's kind of like, it's not as useful as it could be. So I'm thinking I'm going to clear it out, and it's going to be where we end up storing a lot of our like pencil and paper supplies and stuff like that. I also want to take a little bit of time and clear out we've got a calyx, and I think I want to clear it out and use it as the actual like workbook holder shelf when we actually start schooling. So I think that's where it's going to go, or where it's going to fit the best at least. Makes sense. Okay, it makes sense in my head. We'll see what the actual like use case is, because at the same time I'm like, okay, this makes sense to me, but is it going to make sense to the eldest? So, and since it's their schooling, that is something that we can figure out. Like, it doesn't have to stay that way. We'll start there, and then we can always change it up. So who knows? A lot of this might instead of happening down here, it might happen upstairs. I'm super flexible. They can 100% do their schoolwork at the kitchen table. I don't care. Down here makes more sense because they've got their desk and everything like that. But that's the beauty of homeschooling, is it doesn't have to happen it doesn't have to happen down here all the time. It can move around. It is a mobile situation. Okay, Jones has had the best like 0 sugar cream soda for years. Have not seen it though in like probably since pre-COVID. But then they just popped up at Costco the other day, and like with flats. They have cream soda, root beer, orange, just orange and cream, and a blueberry or blue raspberry lemonade or something like that. And they're all really good. The root beer actually tastes like, probably the closest flavor that I could equate it to would be A&W root beer. So if you don't like that kind of root beer style, not for you. I like that root beer flavor, so just as a heads up. Also, they brought back the, Costco, being they, brought back the, brain. They brought back the souvlaki, pork chops. Now, I don't know if they're available like across Canada or not, or like where else they're available, but they're pre-seasoned pork chops, souvlaki flavored. So good. Like, so good. I did their maple chipotle last year too, and it just was not to my flavor profile, so we still have some of those. But I did pick up some extra, like I actually got 2 packs of the pork chops. Looking at them, I don't think they're that much more expensive than just buying normal pork chops. And part of it is it does take up a lot of the prep and thought process of having to do it. So that's why I like buying them like this, because now I'm like, okay, so I baked 4 last night. I've got lunch if I eat a lunch. And then like we have 4 in the freezer already. And I'll open up the other pack and freeze the 8 that are there. So I'll have like 4 or 5 meals out of it very easily. So I overestimated how much the kids were going to eat last night, though. So I ended up, it went in their lunch today. It wasn't a big deal. So that's the nice thing. As for, I just realized I was looking at the lining fabric back there. We did get it sorted out. Tonatex did a fucking amazing job. They offered to give it to me at super discount. And I was like, well, I actually can't use it. I definitely can't use 60. Can you imagine using 60 meters of flannel in the business? And I flat out said, I'm like, I need the quilt cotton because it's for bag linings. And so they're just like, yep, ship it back and we'll ship it out to you. Amazing customer service. I love it. Compared to some other customer services. Who was it last year that was really bad? And I was just like, never again. Obviously, couldn't have been that bad if I've forgotten already. But I do remember bitching about someone last year because I was like, blah, 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 blah. It's terrible. It's not very often that happens. But anyway, 10 out of 10, 5 stars, whatever the fuck you want to rate it to Tana Tex for just being like, yep, we'll fix it for you. Hell yeah. Okay. So what I'm doing right now is because when I use the, or when we're doing the, I hate that, it's all the little glue dots from that fusible fleece. I don't think it doesn't happen as much with the freaking, sorry, I'm going to move the laptop. So don't pay attention, like look away from the face cam for a moment, please. When we do the okay, sorry. I don't think the glue dots come off of the other fusible interfacing like it comes off the fleece. I swear it doesn't leave like a grit behind, but like the fusible fleece is constantly gritty. What I'm doing though is I'm going to, like every time we do this recently, I put the ironing board on this mat and it has been warping it. So we're going to avoid that today. Actually, I'm going to lay it on the floor and see if it flattens out a bit more. While it's on the floor, it probably won't because realistically the table is even flatter. Anyway, yeah. I feel like you're all over the goddamn place, Katie. Yep. Welcome to chaos right now. Okay. Where does this come down? Oh, and on the point of the glue dots, yeah, I don't feel like those glue dots come off as much as they do, like off of this interfacing as they do off the, oh, hi. Oh. Have a bag of chips. It's like stuck to the box I'm using for my laptop stand. Apparently the tape on it is sticky enough to do that. Alrighty. Okay. This should work better. Okay, we're back. Everyone's like, oh my god, shut the fuck up about this, like it only being this amount of days to Knit City. I'm like, I know. Don't worry, it's freaking me out just as much as it's freaking you guys out. Holding myself accountable. That's what I'm doing. I'm holding myself accountable. We got 37 days, which means I do need to probably pull some late nights fairly rapidly here, which fuck me. Has not been going, or has not been happening this year. 1 second. I need a chair for those. I think there's one back here. Yes, there is. Come here, my pretty. Oh. Okay. Nope, not there. Over here. Does it block me? Yes. Does it work? Also, yes. It's like a temporary stand. Whee! Down onto the chair. Okay, now these are definitely Kato cuts. Can't remember what this is for. I don't think it's for, or it was like I cut a Kato. So now the question becomes, oh yeah, well that actually works perfect. It sits there. Damn near 100% perfect. Good enough because it's in the seam allowances. My scissors are upstairs. Shit. All right, I'll be right back. I go run upstairs and grab my like actual shears for this work. you're like, Katie, why don't you have a second pair? You have a second pair of shears. Where are they? I don't know right now. These ones desperately need to go in for sharpening too. Okay, anyway, normally I would start up the iron, but that piece is too perfect and it's fine. We're just gonna pop that on the steam press right there. Okay, so the two things we need to figure out. I don't think this quite fits. Yes, I'm a runner. Yes, I'm out of breath from doing 2 flights of stairs. Yay! I need to do more elevation work apparently. God damn it, I hate doing... Ugh. Not like I adore running, but like... criminy. Okay, anyway. So in theory... 2 of these won't or should fit. How have we been doing it recently? I think we've been doing it 3 across, right? And then there's been either a gap or we've like... And yes, we are going to need to swap that interfacing roll here soon. No, I have not ordered more leather. Cord, we're going to do that in the next few days though. Okay, so 1, 2, and then I've been like lining up the, it's like that's not even, yeah, I'd have to overlap too much interfacing with that. So have we been doing it that way or this way? I feel like we've been doing it the other way. But does this way work to like make it a little bit, yeah, that works a little bit easier actually. Okay. And then we can throw the, most of the time, we should be able to throw the like small box bag handle right here then, right? Or am I crazy? Oh, fuck me. That's where, okay, well, I found the water bottle holder. We looked downstairs. All 4 of us did. I just found it. God damn it. Handles. Anyway, am I crazy? Yes, but probably not for this reason. That's always the story I stick to, right? Yes, I'm crazy, but it's not because of this. Well, arguably, probably. Never mind. Well, shut up. I think that's perfect. Is it perfect? Part of the way up it gets perfect. Is that within the seam allowance? Nope. Damn it. Okay, so we got to go this way then. Okay. Square it up to that side. Square it up to this piece. Ha 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 ha. Then can I put them this way? Yes. Okay. We also have to go, so tomorrow or Friday. I haven't decided yet. One of the days. We got to go get, I was looking at the youngest's closet and they've got a shit ton of pants because I've wandered randomly into like some really good deals on pants, which let me tell you is hard. I don't know why pants are so freaking expensive. Although if you are a parent and you're looking for pants for up to, I think it's 14 years old, Costco has their Levi's right now and they're like $20 a pair. That is one of the best deals for pants. And honestly, they wear really well. The youngest is hard on their clothes because they're a rough and tumble kid. And they just barely started putting holes in their pairs from like, I think it's 2 years ago. I think this, and they're like not the denim ones either. They're kind of like twill cargo pants more than the brown ones instead of the denim version. I guess the denim version doesn't have like the cargo pockets. Okay, please go in there properly so I don't have to worry about sparking. Thank you. Okay, we need water for that. All right, so what's the motto? The motto is we're tacking down stuff. We're not adhering it perfectly because it's got to go under the steam press anyway. But tacking it down means that we'll be able to, like, we can trim it up and transport it rather than having to match all the shit when we're done. Which is what I was doing originally. I think this takes less time. That's what we're standing by. And I did get myself to the gym today. I was very proud of myself because I wasn't going to go because I was tired this morning. And then I was like, fuck it, you're not going to be more tired. Well, I will be more tired, but like... But at least I will have gone to the gym. I only did hamstrings and squats, though, because it was busy. But I was like, better than nothing. Although I don't know why it was so busy. It's like, what, Wednesday? Is it Wednesday? It's Wednesday. At like 8:30 in the morning. It's like, okay. And then right as I was leaving, they're starting to like truncate the track so that they could set up for high rocks. Like, okay, cool. This also, by tacking this down, does help to take some of the creasing out of the fabric as well, so that hopefully when we go to actually seam press it, it's not going to get wrinkled, in theory. Right, so that's the other portion of this that this is good for. Yeah, okay, so those line up. Holy fuck, this is gonna take a while, because there's over 200 prints right now that we are actively working with. I think the count that I eventually came up with, including the ones that we've like partially done already, was something like 276 or something like that. So you know, just a few, no big deal. 37 days. So what do I, okay, so if there's 276 bags and there are 30 days, 30, let's say 30 days because that's easier math. That's like what, 9 bags per day? Fuck. Good thing you productions though, because oh my god, that's not happening right now at least. If you're like, that was a lot of pull off, yes, because we're basically just going to assume that we're going to use the whole, we're using the whole roll, so we're gonna pull it all off. Okay, so we're gonna square up to the actual straight edge because that's going to be the least amount of discrepancy, and then it should work out that we're able to get the handles on properly. The handles most of the time are a little bit long, so I'm not worried if there's a little bit of overlap on that side, and honestly they're stacking really nice, so that's what we're gonna stick with. Okay, Katie, I recognize some of these prints. Yes, you would. Some of these prints are from our older collections. Older collections. They're 2020, like 2022 and 2023 prints. The Kit Inquisition for sure. Sushi Cats is also, there's sushi restaurant cats in the stripes. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? I just realized, because honestly, you can't see shit of what I'm actually ironing. So let's zoom in. Oh, okay. Maybe. Excuse me. Hello, Longitude. Please don't tell me I have to update the camera. Thank you. If I zoom in like this, you can kind of see what I'm working on. Okay. Avert your eyes for a moment if you get motion sick. Ooh, we found out BT dubs. Okay. So anyway, this first, that second. Sushi restaurant on blue. Kit Inquisition, which is all these, just basically it's all cats. They look very questioning to me, so that's why it's kitten position. And then a bunch of these are new fabrics. Anyway, we figured out that the youngest gets motion sick this trip. Oh, in a very violent way as well, of course. So here we are, going along happy. They like playing Minecraft, so they get their iPad to play Minecraft on while we're driving out to the island. Blah, 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 blah. Not a big deal. No, big deal. They're like, oh, I've got a headache. And like, we didn't think of anything of it. And then suddenly there was just barf everywhere. They like emptied their stomach completely. Spent an hour at Malaqua because there's a gas station, like camping store there, cleaning up their car seat, cleaning up the child. And then, of course, worried that they're actually sick and not just like motion sick. And ugh, it was so disgusting. Anyway, got out. We had to we completely disassembled the car seat, washed the cover. The cover still smells a bit, but at least it was like not the whole truck. Had to wash the actual like car seat base out. Like, oh, it was so bad. And the poor kid too. So, anyway, now we know they can't play Minecraft while we're driving. It's just like, no, because they've never, like, that's never happened before. So, when they've been watching shows and stuff like that. But I do remember as a kid being, like, violently motion. Like, maybe, I don't think I ever got to that point, like, throwing up while we were driving, but I definitely got motion sick from, like, sitting and reading. So, I don't even actually typically sit and read as an adult. That's why I usually bring something else to do. Knitting, elastics, drawstrings, whatever sort of thing, right? So anyway, poor kid. I felt really bad for them. Felt bad for us too because it meant that the trucks like spit up, like vomit the rest of the trip. It was like, ugh. At least out to the island. Once we got the actual car seat out of the truck, it like eased off, but that drive out, whew, terrible. Anyway. We were chatting yesterday and I was like, yeah, when I go to Japan. And Dallas is like, I keep forgetting you're going to Japan. I'm like, yep. Pretty sure it's in the calendar. Should make sure it's in the calendar actually. So, because we were chatting and I was like, so Flynn's had those little itchy ears for quite a while now, and we can't figure out what it is. We've done the allergy shit, like food, the hydrolyzed protein, like not even, so we did the elimination of chicken, which is typically what it is. And then we did the like proper, like super fancy hydrolyzed protein diet, which should have eliminated it completely along with the other treatments we were doing. All of this, and no, it's just, I think it's actually gotten worse. Actually, no, the scratching hasn't gotten too bad, but he's like over grooming. And I'm like looking at him and I'm wondering if he is actually stressed. Because here's the thing. Dahlia and him, like Dahlia tolerates him, but he adored Remy. And I'm wondering if he's like a little bit stressed and depressed because Remy would at least like engage with him positively. So we were chatting back and forth yesterday, and I told Dallas I think we need to get another kitten. I don't really want to get another cat right now, but I'm also like, well, okay, I'm half like yes and half like no. It's not like it's a good time, and it's not like an optimal time to be getting another cat right now. But I think it would be best for Flynn because I do think. Here's the thing. I think adding another cat isn't going to make it worse. And honestly, I'm leaning more towards I think it'll make it better. I should actually talk to Caroline. She might have some guidance on this. But just to make sure that I'm not crazy. I don't think I am. I think it is the right option. But we'll see, I guess. Well, We might end up with a kitten. Anyway, what we were discussing was timelines for that, because I was like, we can't do it before Knit City, at least. And in some ways, I prefer to do it after Art Market in November as well, because I'm like, I got Japan and everything like that in October. He's like, oh, are you going to Japan? I'm like, yes, I am. Gotta go buy stuff from Natsumi so that we've got charms and brooches and needle minders, one of the new products, and and just like our stuff that I've like had on order. Got a couple other new products I'm super excited to show you guys as well that we haven't had before. Just like, yeah, so should actually find out if I can have, I don't think I can have her in the booth at Art Market, but I'm going to message them and be like, hey, so this is something I normally carry. I think because it's made in Japan, probably not, but you never know. It's worth asking. Because, like, I'm not going to put out these scissors at Art Market because that's not handmade or anything like that, so. Okay, that one's already interfaced. This one is too small, I think. What the heck? Are you too small? You are, yeah, especially with the fray, you are too small. So we're gonna have to figure out the handle for that one later. I need to get some more iron cleaner too because this is getting really bad on the bottom. Keep eyeballing different properties in BC and stuff because it's just like keep an eye on markets, etc. And then my friend mentioned that Saskatchewan's very affordable right now, and I looked at it like, oh, I wish I didn't know that. But Dallas is also like, and they just added a like hub in Saskatoon, and I'm like, no. But I could have a shed. Ridiculous. It's like, and if you're legitimately like, Katie, you just got the basement set up for yourself. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's all good. This is like, this isn't quite doom scrolling, but it's like contingency plan. We've got, if you haven't heard, if you're not from Canada and you haven't heard, we are having a referendum in the fall. October 19th, actually. I'm going to order a mail-in ballot because Elections Alberta has not been able to hire enough people and apparently now is reaching outside of the province because our elections board is chronically underfunded like everything else. Yay. Anyway, the questions are like mostly racist. And then whether we should separate from Canada or not. So this is why I'm having a few contingency plans because, well, and then contingency plans if there's another Conservative government voted in again in what I think our next federal, our next provincial elections next year. So, yay. Because right now they're two-tiering our healthcare system, and with my diabetes, I don't want to have to pay for diagnostic tests. They're like, right now it's only MRIs. But we also have a premier who is like, if you get cancer, it's your own damn fault. So I don't have great faith in them maintaining like A1C testing and stuff like that if they were to get voted back in. It's kind of a slippery slope because the like in the whatever it is that actually made the change was like diagnostic tests. Did not say specifically what. Basically, it's like you can self-refer and pay for your own like MRIs and CT scans right now. Why or how? I don't know how this works because it's like if we have that free space, why aren't we using it in the public system? Yeah. So, and like funding our healthcare properly. Anyway, I understand why they're underfunding education and stuff like that because that's a play right out of the States. Because if you have an undereducated population, you get people who continue to vote against their best interests. And like, it's not just them. There is a lot of highly educated people who also vote against their best interests for whatever reason. I know there's a multitude of reasons, but like, this is one of the like Bush 101 of policies. Anyway, off the soapbox, Katie. Anyway, and I'm also like, at the same time, I'm like, Saskatchewan isn't much better for their politics right now. But looking at what we'd have to give for Dallas to be able to get to Calgary, like, so basically we have to stay somewhere where Dallas is able to access work easily, because I don't know how this would impact that. All the leases for his work are on First Nations like treaty land. So it's kind of like he would still be working in those spaces. Anyway, so contingency plans. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't come to that. Because Saskatoon would also crater the business, which is why I was looking towards BC, because they have a very like strong Japanese community. A lot of the shows obviously that I do, like there's a lot of opportunities out there. With Saskatchewan, I would be able to do like, it'd be easier to access Winnipeg. And maybe even if I was crazy, we would start coming to like Montreal and Toronto more. So like that does, but Saskatchewan I think has 2 fiber shows right now. At the same time, if Alberta separates, that craters the business anyway, so. I know I'm being very nihilistic about it. Someone was like, if people are like this gung-ho about it, on their side, like we should be gung-ho about it not happening, but it's hard. It's hard. So, I'll keep you updated. Referendum day is October 19th. Yay. Which means actually, yes, I do need to order my voting packet here soon, because it's like, so the problem is that there is not enough like Elections Canada referendum workers, and then there's like 10 questions. So the 9 questions are like, yeah, like I said, mostly about should we be providing services to temporary residents, or like this and this and this. Which, don't even get me started on the frickin' like, they've amalgamated the driver's license with the healthcare number. Which, okay, I know, I think Ontario did that a while ago. But they're like, you also need your citizenship on it. What? That doesn't make fucking sense. So, and they're like asking people for their fucking birth certificates, and I'm like, wow, what does the birth certificate tells you? Nothing, because it's like Dallas was born in BC, so like tells you shit. Right? Like, I was born in Alberta, but I lived most of my life in BC. So, like, what the fuck does that, what does, that has zero bearing on anything. Well, you know, so that making sure that they're paying their taxes. Birth certificate won't tell you that. Birth certificate won't tell you that. I'm sorry. I'm angry. And yes, I can write my MLA, and yes, I can write the premier, and yes, I can write the health minister. And they're going to continue to play to their keys of power, because it's like, what does it matter? Being a dissenting voice, right? I have written to them. Have I written them recently? No. So it's time to do another round of backlash. I also need to write Tim's too, because oh my god, this whole Harry Potter nonsense is annoying too. Oh, I did finally write. God, I sound like I'm turning into fucking Karen, but it's like all legitimate. I'm like, ah. Anyway, I did write WestJet, and I was like, shake fist at sky sort of moment, right? Please put a menu on their website. Basically, I said if they didn't put a menu on their website, I would start flying with Air Canada again, because I'm like, at least I'm guaranteed to know what I'm eating. And honestly, it's a better flight. Again, I did get kudos though. I did legitimately say I was impressed by the fact that we got 2 hot meals, because that is extra work for the flight attendants, right? Whereas Air Canada just kind of comes along and like plops a sandwich in front of you. So legitimately, that was impressive. I was impressed there. I would have been more impressed if they had like provided a menu in advance. Because I'm pretty sure Air Canada's is like, you will have 1 hot meal and 1 like sandwich or cold meal or something. Like, they tell you what it is, and then they're like, a sandwich, which is fine too. That's descriptive enough. Was also, and I think I gave kudos because they, WestJet also auto had a veg meal instead of having to request a vegetarian meal. It was not vegan, but it was vegetarian. And then the breakfast item, second hot meal was, at least on the return, was full veg. There was no option, sort of thing. No. Knowing what I know now, unless they change that in the next couple months, I might just take a Subway sandwich with me. Because whatever. Although at the same time, I don't want to have to pay more money to eat food on the plane. I also need to eat on the plane though, because it is a long flight. So it's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I also said that they need to like you have an entertainment system, please put your drink selections in the entertainment system. Or like, I don't care, a paper printout in the frickin' like seat back pocket. I don't care. That would be way less work for your flight attendants as well. Like, just tell me what I can drink on this flight. But like, yeah. Because if they put it in the entertainment system, it feels like it would be easier to update. But if they just did a paper printout for each seat, like, if it gets destroyed, not a big deal, right? But then it's not like every time the person comes through, it's like, do you have this? Or do you have this? The one that baffles me still there, though, is it's like, and okay, so going in, I was pretty sure it was going to be the same selection as flying down to Florida or something like that. I don't think WestJet changes their drink selections on their flights. I don't know if Air Canada does either, but anyway. They must have a contract with, like, they have Blue Moon, Coors, and something for, like, beer. But that's all they had on the way back as well. So I'm like, do you, like, fly this in the plane to Tokyo? And then so you can, like, how do you restock in Tokyo? How do you restock in Tokyo? Are you carrying extra beer on your plane and it gets like stored in the back rooms? Like, I'm so curious. Like, why wouldn't you contract with a Japanese beer company for flying out of Tokyo? I don't know. But at the same time, it's like for Narita, like they only have the one flight every day. So they don't even have a proper check-in counter. They just have this like, they're one of the rotating counters that rotates with like, I think we were when there was like Lion Air, Garuda, one of the Indonesian airlines, and I think one of the Malaysian airlines, and like a few others as well. But like someone who like, it's not, yeah. And this makes sense because in part it's like their flight network is nowhere near as robust as like Air Canada's Star Alliance. So, which is another reason where I'm kind of still toying with so the big thing I gotta figure out before I fully commit and full send to going to Air Canada is I need to figure out CARM, which is the new import system for like hand carry goods or just importing goods in general, which I kind of have, but in case my like fabric goes into customs jail, I don't want to have to fly back out to Vancouver and then fly back with it like again, sort of thing. So for now, what we're doing is I'm going to do this next flight with WestJet, see if I get the CARM program correct on the way back, and then if I do, then I'll feel more confident in like flying through Vancouver. If you're like, Katie, you have talked about this ad nauseum. Yep, but it's my chaos, and I will chaos as I want to today, especially since this is boring as shit. I hate having to interface bags. There is a very good reason why I resisted doing fusible interfacing for the first like 8 years of bag making. Were my bags worse off for it? No. They were still interfaced. They still had body. But, and I understand why fusible interfacing now, blah, 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 but this is not fun. The unglamorous side of prepping. I'm supposed to go to reading in the park tonight, and I'm like... So, I got sick, like what, 3 weeks ago now? 2.5 weeks, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks, 3 weeks ago, because it was when the last set Dallas came home. So he was home for the week, gone for the week, home for the week. Yeah, so like 3 weeks and a day. And it was some sort of camp crud. I chatted about this last week, I'm pretty sure. Cleared up right before we headed out for Victoria, so it took a long time. Like I was still snotty nosed and everything like that, but like it had transitioned to mostly better. Clear snot, all that, whatever. It was gross though. There was a lot of snot this time. So gross. But and the eldest got a sniffly nose, green snot, all that jazz. Lots of snot for them too, just copious. All this. And then I think the youngest caught it. I thought that the eldest had what I had, so I figured it had just gone through all three of us. But now Dallas had a sore throat and was all sick and gross on the drive home, and now I've got a sore throat. And I'm like, fuck, I think it's something new. I'm so annoyed. It doesn't feel as bad as last time though, because like last time I got so cranky right before I got sick, and then it lasted a really long time. So I actually did do a COVID test about 10 days in, because I was like, A, this is lasting way too goddamn long. B, some of the symptoms could line up with like a very mild case of COVID, because we get vaccinated every year. All of this. The test was expired, but it did not come back with the positive, and I know that they're not exactly like 100% accurate either. But yeah, apparently it was very likely just a nasty upper respiratory thing, but still, I was like, oh my god. Anyway, I'm really hoping I don't get more sick. That comes back to reading in the park. I'm like, do I take the energy and the potential that I am sick out? Which the answer is probably shouldn't. Which is annoying. It's like the perfect day for it. At the same time, I don't want to like overstress my system either and be like Get myself more sick. Also, if I didn't go out to reading in the park, I wouldn't have to like coordinate dinner quite as hard. I could just come home and eat. And I could interface more products. I feel like we already have a dragonfly handle. Do I have a second dragonfly bag? That might be the other question. Or am I thinking about dragonfly Kato? Nope, there's a dragonfly handle down there. Okay, I'm not going to double interface these handles right now. And yes, after this we gotta go do... Ugh, shit. I should have actually cut all the interiors for the small box bearings before we started this. It's okay. It's okay. We'll probably run out of interfacing on these anyway. Which is annoying because I was just at Pecana yesterday. Damn it. Oh yeah, Dallas did really good on his race on Saturday though. Improved his time by like 2 minutes, which is pretty good, all things considered, because it was 12K trail race. Because what, 2 minutes over 12K is, so 2 minutes, 120 seconds. It's like 10 seconds per kilometer, which is an insane improvement on a course that he's only run once before, when you really think about it. So. Then he had a 30K the next day for marathon training. I was just like, Jesus, dude. Did not help his cold. But yeah, weather was perfect. We got down to the beach a couple times. I did get photos of the tote bags done, which is nice. I'm gonna actually, I'll be better prepared because honestly, the weather this morning was fucking clear as hell, all the way to the mountains. So maybe tomorrow, if it's the same, we'll get out. I'm thinking I'm just gonna take the same bags out and photograph them outside, and just be like, I know. So here's the thing. Definitely prairie. I am foothills, not prairies. I'm foothills. So like the ocean doesn't exactly encapsulate the brand. Like realistically, I should be taking these totes to Japan and taking a photo of them there. But like, and then in Canada as well. Anyway, what I was thinking though is it's like I wanted to have something that was ubiquitously Canadian. So I took some photos down along the breakwater in Victoria. And then I'm going to take some photos of like the bags in the foothills. So maybe that's what we should go do tomorrow morning, is like go for a walk and like find a good location for that. Kids can like, I don't know, find like a rock to prop it up on or something. Actually, I think I know what to do there because there is a good rock down right along our walking path even. So maybe something like that. Anyway, but yeah, the breakwater photos actually turned out really nice. It's all painted with Haida. I'm pretty sure it's Haida. Like the eagle and everything like that, and different bird symbols. Actually, I can just show you a picture. They're not like super clear on it, but they are in the background, which is really nice. It adds to it. Without like subtracting, I guess. Let's see. Yeah, so you can kind of see it there. It's like in the background there. And the driftwood and everything like that complemented the bag really nicely. So I'm like, that's kind of the vibe I want for these other photos as well. Because again, trying to lean very much into that like made in Canada. Especially as we're heading into art market and stuff like that. And just some beauty shots because I'm realizing, well, okay, we're moving into shows where I need some shots of the bags that aren't like This is me trying to sell you a bag, which is why I just I take product photos. I don't take advertisement photos, maybe marketing photos. That's what it is. Because there's a difference between product photos and products in use photos versus marketing photos. So this is more focused on taking a marketing photo than a, hey, buy my bags photo. So I have those two actually already. Part of why I don't do that is because the majority of my products outside of like the Kato and stuff like that, so especially in the upcycled obi, are very one of a kind. Even if I was to remake that bag, that tote, the Dundurn, with the same obi and the same wax canvas, it's not going to look the same because of where we cut the bag, right? So that's part of it. But I was like, okay, I need to get stuff that like encapsulates the general idea of like, yeah, the beauty shots, the marketing photos. So here we are. And I was like, Victoria's a really good option for that. And then we'll take some in the foothills and be like, made in Canada, yay. Rah, rah, Canada. That shouldn't have sounded so dispassionate. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, y'all. And I'm not Texan, I'm Albertan. Y'all is just a really nice gender neutral term for everyone. I should just start using Mina. Mina. Except that doesn't flow off the tongue as well. Mina is everyone in Japanese. Hitopito? People? Rah rah Canada. Hitopito. It was funny. I was in line for, we go to a place in Victoria. It's called Redfish Bluefish. They have amazing halibut and chips. So good every time. And this really good seafood chowder. It's not clam chowder. It's seafood chowder. So I think it's made with whitefish and corn and stuff like that. It's like, it is chowder. But it's got like a spicy curry style, coconut curry style base, along with all the like fixings in that. Oh, it's so good. Anyway, that's way besides the point. The point of this conversation is that I had a Japanese couple behind me and a Japanese couple in front of me. So actually and then the one that was in front of me, well, they weren't a couple. Sorry. There was two Japanese friends in front of me and a Japanese couple behind me. There we go. Right. Or at least as it was explained to me, because I actually chatted with the woman that was in front of me, and they were like, first time to Victoria and stuff like that. So I was like, fuck it. I don't mind when people ask me that sort of thing when it's obviously like another foreigner in Japan. So I was like, I will engage you in conversation. So, yeah. It was good, because then I got to practice my Japanese. She got a little bit of English practice. Not much, because she's like, I don't speak English very well. And I'm like, that's fine. I can speak a little bit English, or Japanese. You can speak a little bit Japanese, or, yeah. We can trade in our small knowledges of each other's languages. Yeah, find a rock or something to take some photos on. Or, ooh, maybe take them into Calgary and take them against the Calgary skyline. Because honest to God, out of everywhere that I have been so far, and granted that's not a lot of places, but like these really big like metropoli, right? Singapore, Vancouver, Cleveland. That's not a big metropolis, but you get the idea. These places that are like, and then Tokyo, with all these skyscrapers and what should be cool skylines, Calgary still has the most distinctive skyline. So maybe I'll go gotta go into the city tomorrow anyway, because we're gonna go thrifting for the youngest, because I think I mentioned this earlier, but following up on it, they do not have enough shirts for the school year. And I know I can buy them throughout the school year, but I was like looking at it and I'm like, you don't have very much for clothing for school right now. And considering the amount I do laundry, we need to amp everything up. But for whatever reason, they ended up with a crap ton of pants. Oh, right. I was talking about the pants. And if you're a parent and you have a child who is in, I think it's up to 12 or 14T, check the Costco website. But they have the Levi's right now for like $20. Jeans, kind of like a twill dress pant. And then cargo pants for boys and girls. Anyway, and girls' shorts as well. But anyway, the youngest has a bunch of that. But then I was looking at the closet and I'm like, you don't have any shirts. You need some more t-shirts and you need some more long sleeve shirts. And they need a new pair of indoor shoes because their current indoor shoes are worn out. And they need a new pair for both preschool and kindergarten because they need to be different shoes for each class space. Anyway, and Value Village has, if you like to thrift and you're not signed up yet, Value Village does send email out coupons, and they're having like a 40% off kids clothing sale this weekend. Started today and goes through I think Saturday or Sunday. So I'm like, sweet, that's worth driving back into the city for. And if we drive in for the city to take some photos against the skyline and do that, that's even better. The kids think they're just doing Minecraft tomorrow. We will also be doing that. But go do this first. We could actually take their bikes in and go for a bit of a bike ride too. That'd be good. Okay, I am starting to get hungry, which means I at least should break for a snack or something. I completely ignored Dahlia, didn't I? She was like down here chatting. Dahlia! I'm sorry. She's like, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna crunch on my kibble up here. My God, I think I am well and truly very overcommitted. We started fairly early too, all things considered. Just this summer's been brutal for well, whatever that upper respiratory nonsense was last time was brutal. I don't know. What else can we do but just get through? Yeah, I should go get something or another. I'm really thinking I want coffee again as well, because I should start staying up to get shit done. It's so hard though, because like you sit down, so the kids still need like quite a bit of support to go to sleep. And usually that does involve a parent in the bed with them, like cuddling. I have been trying to transition them to, like, I'm sitting in the chair outside both their rooms and they're going to bed, but that's not working. It's working, but I'm worried that it's like just a little bit too far right now. So, but their beds aren't comfortable with 3 people in them. And so there's like always this like, catch-22. But and then the flip side of that is that then I get tired because I'm sitting there in the like semi-dark reading and doing my wind down stuff while they're trying to fall asleep, and then they fall asleep, and then I also get stuck because I'm like relaxed and all that. But time probably to transition back into, actually it would be okay to do that right now. I was gonna say, because we're transitioning out of being up early for school or for camp, but it's going to be the same time for school drop off. Never mind. These do have to be done for Sunday. Tara's coming on Sunday, so I've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Well, Thursday, Friday. I've got a baby shower on Saturday, which will take about half the day. And then, yeah. Well, I've already said about 6 times I'm going to go get food, and then I just keep going. Oh, right, because I was debating the coffee. That's why. You're like, Katie, stop talking, just do. God, I'm so happy with those water bottle holder, though. Even though we did only test it once. Or with one child. Like, I'm super excited to launch those. I wish I had been a little bit more prepared and launched them in time for, like, back to school. That's on me. I feel like now it's like, well, I haven't even sewn all of them, so it's not, I won't be able to do a, like, back to school launch. Not that that's ever been a thing for me, but it would have been nice to be able to, like, capitalize on it, literally. Because it is super useful. But at the same time, I wonder how much, like, would a kid use it at school? I don't know. It might be more of a summer thing anyway. I could see my kids using it at school potentially, at least the eldest. I don't know about the youngest, considering that we already, like, lost theirs. I did find it. I found it, which is good, but, you know. Okay, we aren't doing too bad, all things considered, for cranking through all of this. There is a lot of drawstring channels to sew as well, so that might be the next thing I do as like a break up to this portion, is actually go back to the sewing machine and sew them. I could prep water bottle bags as well. We could prep Polypro. There's a couple other things we could do too before we sit down at the machine. Obviously linings for small box bags would be a good one, but I might need a break from standing, and technically my massage therapist would also be happier with me if I were to break it up a little bit, because then you don't get as high of risk of repetitive stress injuries. Yeah, if I go and have coffee now, it's like, then I shouldn't be awake until ridiculously late. But, like, it'll be enough to get me over the hump, maybe, of doing bedtime. I think next year too, so instead of applying for vibrations, I'm going to do, I kind of want to apply for and do Anarevo, which is on BC Day or August long weekend in Vancouver next year. I think that would be a fun show. Dallas should be home for it, so we could all go out and, like, do Vancouver for a few days, or, like, lower mainland area, and then, yeah, come back. I think we're gonna do a lot more camping next summer is going to be our goal. We were starting a list the other day of, like, what do we actually want to do next summer, because it feels like every year we're like, we're going to do this, and then the summer just gets away from us. So, like, I know the kids want to go camping, so we'll go do some camping next year. The big thing is we do need to buy a new tent, because our current tent is like a 2-person tent, and our children are large. Well, okay, the one is 50th percentile. They're right on average. The youngest is large, and not like in a chunky way, like a Beansboro way, because they're 97th and 97th percentile for height and weight. So large for their age. So I'm looking at, like, I know that the 4-person tents will fit 4 adults, but I'm looking towards maybe a 6-person tent or something like that. I remember the one my parents had when we were kids, and it was really nice because it's like, it was kind of almost like 3 rooms, so that it had, like, 2 side door things, and then it had like 2. So it had the main dome tent, which is where they stayed, and then it had the 2 like access flaps right there. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about. Something along those lines, because I'm like, if we're gonna buy a tent, we may as well buy something that we're gonna be comfortable in for a while. And we have all the other equipments at this point. So we do have a stove, we've got dishes for it. And like a lot of the other expenses are already done. Realistically, it's like a foamy and a sleeping bag and a tent. Because I don't remember, I remember ours being fairly comfortable. We just didn't use it because Dallas isn't super comfortable camping, but he can deal. Oh yeah, okay, no, never mind. I'm going to do this, and then it is food time. My stomach just went, hey, so... Yeah, I don't think we're gonna go reading in the park tonight. Let's see how I feel about, well, book club's tomorrow night, so hopefully I'm feeling better by then. I don't want to skip book club. No. Actually might be a better argument for not staying up too late tonight. Okay, I'm gonna actually finish pressing these since it's warm enough. Get it to a more natural stopping place rather than being like half done on these and like still have spaces for handles. Because then I can come down and we can just continue placing things. Yay! Okay. I don't know how far we're into this. Like I said, I think there's something like 276. We're not going to discuss those numbers too hard because if I do, I'm going to freak rate the fuck out. We are going to be using a lot of fabric in the next few days. Because I'm pretty sure there's like 219 small box bags as well. La 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 la. We didn't hear those numbers. I have enough that I have. Well, okay, it's enough that I've talked to my brother-in-law to make sure that he can like laser engrave the rest of my tags for me. Hopefully, la 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 la. I think he's got enough leather. I do have to make an order for drawstring cord because that's one place we can fail hard. Can you imagine? I work on sewing all of these and then we suddenly don't have drawstring. Oh shit. We might not have enough of the little like cord locks either. Okay, well, we'll figure that out. Okay, I will be back in a couple minutes. This is just gonna be kind of like a snacking lunch. Am I making coffee? Yes, I'm also gonna make coffee. So actually I'll be about 15 minutes, but I will be back soon. Post haste. All right, here we are. Iron is warming up. Well, it's probably pretty close down to done. I grabbed a chair because I'm tired. And I'm pretty sure we're not going to go to the reading in the park tonight because I'm just like, part of this is not just that I'm tired right now, but the youngest can be very dysregulated after camp. And I'm like thinking about it. I'm like, I do not have the energy to regulate both of us right now. So just better not to put those expectations on either of us for me to be able to regulate, and for them, like for me to expect them to regulate after a busy day, which realistically is unfair to them. So I think we'll just chill. The other part of it is that if I am actually sick, I want to be able to like save up this energy for the book club tomorrow instead. So I think smarter on all fronts. We do have the youngest booked for their ADHD assessment. Thank fuck. Although, so we were doing like a phone consultation last week. And she was like, are you worried about cognitive development? I'm like, okay, you got to explain that though, because I do not know. Like, do you want to do... No, question was, do we want to do cognitive testing? And I was like, you're going to have to explain what the difference is, because she's like, are you worried that they can't focus because like their working memory isn't, or no, not working memory. Anyway, do you think they're stupid? In some ways, but that is like being caused by a cognitive delay. That was a terrible way to word it. Sorry. I don't know. It's like, yeah. Do you think these issues are ADHD related, or because of like they can't focus because like their memory's not working well? This is not stupid. It's just like, yeah, we'll backtrack that one. Oh, what? Like cognitive delays. And I'm like, no, I don't think that's what it is. I'm not worried about, like, they're able to retain the information. There we go. And like they explained fractions to us when we were driving out to the coast this week. So I'm like, I don't think that's the concern. It's more, and family history doesn't indicate that either. So from what I know, to the best of my knowledge. But yeah, she did explain it. It's like, it's basically an IQ test. And I'm like, that's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about how this is actually, at this point, how this is impacting social skills and like sociability, because the kid is social and can't keep the instructions in their brain for like social skills. I'm like, no. That's more what it's impacting, because the impulsivity is really, really dialed up right now. And like, yeah. Although they might be too. So right now, I think what we're going to pursue is like, there's a lot of information that says like, don't medicate at this age because like X, Y, Z. It's fair. Can impact appetite. It can impact like mood, etc. But what it does for us is it's like, it does, if it turns out to be a positive diagnosis, is that then we can pursue that later. I also thought that this was actually the psychologist, not a psychiatrist, whichever one. Okay, I thought it was the one that could actually prescribe, but apparently it's not. So it's like we still have to wait for the publicly funded psychiatrist anyway. She's like, do not cancel that appointment. I'm like, all right, we won't. Because she's like, most GPs don't like prescribing for children. Fair enough. And I can't do it. I'm like, okay, fair. You are she's basically the clinician who's going to be able to actually like, tell us if it is ADHD. But yeah, my biggest question is like, do I get the preschool to fill out the forms, or do I get like the kindergarten, which they're starting in next week, to fill them out? Because I'm like, that yeah, I think I'm going to go with the preschool because they will have been around him the most and will be able to provide the best information along with like the IPP and stuff like that. So, and honestly, this is another argument to not, like, even if we're homeschooling, she brought up a very good point of like, you have to be able to see these symptoms in two settings, which I didn't know or didn't fully like comprehend. So that's good to know too. And we know that the symptoms have been showing in both situations as well, like home and school. A little bit different in both locations, which is good at the same time because it does mean that like we are a safe space for them. But yeah, got told by by the counselors last week that it was like they play punched a child in the face, and I'm like, now, they weren't mad about it. It doesn't, and it seems like it was a mutually agreed upon occurrence because the youngest said that they got punched in the face and then they punched the other kid in the face. But it's like, and this is where I'm more concerned about even like, so there's a lot of things, but I'm like, the issue being that they are starting to move into a space where they are so large for their age, A, and B, they want to be accepted by their peers, so it's probably that they got goaded on a little bit too, right? I am not saying that they are completely innocent in this, obviously. You cannot punch someone in the face. Like, oh my God. But at the same time, it's like, this is more what I'm concerned about than a lot of other stuff, is the loss of like those social opportunities because it's like suddenly you're someone who punches people in the face. Whether that was play or not. And then they bit their sibling too, and it's just like, ah. Dallas is like, well, did the sibling, because the siblings gotten to the point where it's like they get nanner boo boo, you got in trouble sort of shit, and it's like, that's not cool either. So we've been calling them on that behavior. It's like, you can't celebrate your sibling getting in trouble, like that is not cool. So we thought that might be why they got bit, but no, it's right at the end of the day, and I'm like, okay, so they probably got in each other's face. And like the eldest got in the youngest's face, and the youngest bit because the higher impulse control is not there at that time of day. But I know way more about this stuff than I want to know at this point, and I'm probably going to end up learning more. The thing, I'm just super grateful at this point that like the school has done so much work with them for OT and stuff like that, because it, like I said, when they originally went to our GP to be like, okay, we want to get this kiddo assessed, the first question out of their mouth was like, do they have tantrums? I was like, no. But then I thought about it and I'm like, no, they did. They had like breath holding spell tantrums for the first like almost 2 years. 18 months. So like from 6 months to 2 years old-ish. And it's like, that is a full-on tantrum. But the thing is that they abated because like the OT has worked with them so hard. So they've got what's kind of referred to as the table legs. So they have the social, they have the exercise and engagement of like, so the social of like school and being out of the house and friends and all of that. Because as much as I'm worried about the social, they definitely have friends. They have some really good friends. But the exercise, the food, the sleep, like they've got a really good base. And now what they need is they need the tabletop to keep everything together. This is how it was explained to Dallas the last time he went to like go get medications from like the GP and stuff like that. And that's how she explained it to him, of like, you've got all the legs, but you need the tabletop to keep them all together. Because if you don't have the tabletop, the legs just fall. So yeah, I'm eternally grateful to this preschool for like making sure this kiddo's gotten the help they need. as to the best of all of our abilities, including theirs. Well, it does sound like we're going to be able to get the whole of the of the assessment covered as well, which is very good. I'm super happy with that. Or about that, because like Dallas's insurance is, they'll pay something up to a certain percentage or something like that. They'll cover it, but it's got these weird rules over like, we'll pay 80%, or no, they'll pay 100% up to like $235, and then 80% after that or something like that, or like 80% of it if it goes above that, or yeah. Anyway, there was some weird rules, and I was like, okay, as long as they'll cover the majority of it, I don't care at this point. Because it will be good to go from working under the assumption that they are potentially ADHD to knowing if they are or aren't either. And then that becomes a different conversation of what steps to take next, sort of thing, for them. If they aren't. And even if they are, then it's like, it confirms, like, even if they're not, the strategies that we're currently working with help a lot. So that alone tells me a lot about it. But yeah. Anyway, we'll find out. Ooh, we found some good coffee shops in Victoria. So we were up island for Dallas's race in Cobble Hill. If you ever have an opportunity to go out to Victoria or Vancouver Island, and are in that area, I wouldn't say make a specific trip for this place, but it was some of the best coffee I've had in probably years, to be honest. Anyway, Drum Roaster Coffee. It's in the Cowichan Valley. All of their branding is goats because of there's goats on the roof in Cowichan Bay. And it was so good. So good. And then this coffee wasn't as good, but the latte art was way better. It's holy fuck, I don't even know the name of the cafe, but it's right beside Finest at Sea, which is in like the Inner Harbor area of Victoria. And my goodness, the guy actually made a little cat face in my latte. It was adorable. So excited. I was like, oh my god, it's like my business is all about cats. And he gave me this smile, and I was just like, oh wait, I'm wearing the freaking like, I'm wearing a pair of earrings from Natsumi. So he probably assumed that I make cat earrings. And I was like, it's not. I retail the cat earrings. It's not incorrect quite, but it's not quite right either. Oops. Sorry, Natsumi. That's not how I meant to represent you. But yeah. I was like, oh shit, that's right. I'm literally wearing my cat earrings. That's how that's why he drew a cat in the latte foam. It was impressive though. And that's actually one of the main reasons that we went, is because it was like the reviews on Google were like amazing latte art and stuff like that. And yeah, it was. Dallas got a heart. I got the cat. Like, sweet. Thank you. We also went to a book sale there. Russell Books was doing their warehouse sale. Okay. It is a used bookstore. Basically, they take, well, they have new and used, but they take in all sorts of books. Fiction, nonfiction, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, we have to have a warehouse blowout sale. I'm like, cool, let's go. I was expecting at least a little bit of organization. Like fiction and nonfiction, whatever. Not more than that. It wasn't even that. It was like fiction, nonfiction, children's books, dictionaries. We got a dictionary because it ended up being like $2. Will it be perfect? No, it still has the Soviet Union listed. Will it be good enough for what the kids need to use and learn how to use? Yes, that's the thing. I'm like, because Telus is all like, internet. And I'm like, no, they have to learn how to do this shit analog first. And dictionaries are just fun. In general, anyway. Will I get a different dictionary later? Probably. I remember having like an illustrated one that was always nice as a kid, because then you could like look at the pictures, and there was almost more like a hybrid encyclopedia dictionary. But anyway, for $2, I'm not going to quibble over it being old. I probably should just make sure that it's not super racist. Although honestly, having definitions for racist terms is not the worst thing either, and then you can teach about why we don't use those terms anymore. So, plus dictionaries are expensive, so I was like, okay, even if it's not perfect, it is better than nothing. And it'll teach what it needs to teach, even if it isn't a modern dictionary. So, yay. Didn't we already do an owl? Did we do an owl on stumps already? I'm asking like you guys have watched from the beginning. And remember, because I don't... Let's just double check, because I see there's like the next 2 prints, or the second print. It might have been the handle. But last time nope, we already have an owl there. Okay, so we're not going to double up on owls. It is cute, but like... Oh my god, I still need to cut pockets too. Shit. Ah. Yeah, sleep panic. Just minuscule panic. It's all good. This can't go wrong. Not like we're gonna start homeschooling in 2 weeks. And not having us, well, okay, realistically, the homeschooling is only gonna take 2 hours. My bigger concern with them is what am I gonna do with them for the rest of the day. So I guess for the next few weeks, it's gonna be an iPad day. And Magic School Bus. Magic School Bus is a science curriculum. Actually, I want to introduce them to the OG, my OG, Carmen Sandiego. That's the one I want to do next. For like basically geography is what it's going to amount to. So that'll be good. Yeah. And they are learning and retaining information from these shows. So that's the other big thing. So I've been doing like this last few weeks, or yeah. It's been a pretty regular rotation of like Zaboomafoo, so the original Crap Brothers show, Magic School Bus, and they've been doing something called Storybots. I don't know if I like it quite as much, but they're definitely learning different stuff from it. I'm pretty sure that Storybots is where the youngest learnt about fractions, so I can't complain about it too much either. And like I said, they had like, they knew what fractions were, so... And we're able to explain it and like calculate it while we were chatting. Like, I think we used the example of like you cut a pie into 8 pieces, and so you take 3/8 of the pie. How many pieces is that? And it's like they're able to explain it, which is insane because they just turned 5. And that's why I hope they don't get bored at kindergarten. And I don't think they will. I think it's like that just right, that's going to be that just right challenge for them this year. Because like there is other things they need to learn. Social skills being the main one. and stuff like that. So I think that's where they're going to be challenged and hopefully engaged. But like, I hope that they're able to keep them challenged and engaged academically as well. And I think they will, because that is the big benefit to this kindergarten, is they have a lot of, like, it's a very high adult to child ratio. I think it's like it's not quite 1-to-1, but I think it's 1-to-2 or 1-to-3 maybe most days. So alrighty, we're probably not halfway yet. I really want to do a count, but I'm also like, Katie, resist the urge. We are going to run out of handles before we run out of Kato, so that's going to be fun. Just because like we're able to place so many Kato versus, or so many handles versus the, like the 2 Kato we get each time. Because how many on average? There's like 1, 2, 3, 4 handles per. So push it out, not in. Oh, some of these fabrics are so good. Well, all of the fabrics are good, obviously. I bought them, but like again, I start putting them together and it's like, oh yeah. Like the envisioning that is happening when I was standing in Nomura Tailor in Kyoto or in Tomato in Tokyo, it's like it's actually coming together. Excuse me. I have the window open down here. Flynn's sitting in the window, judging, as he should. Not that there's much to judge. Traffic. He gets to judge the traffic, I guess. Should have been better prepared and had like more bookmarks and stuff like that prepped before I started this. Actually, no, we'll just trim down when we're done with the handles, we'll trim down the excess and then that can become the interfacing for the bookmarks and stuff. It's like, it's too bad that it's not quite wide enough for the small box bags in some ways. Although the small box bags, and I interface the interiors, not the exteriors anyway, so. Because in that way, the interior is like basically holding up the exterior, but the benefit there being that it's like stuff and sundries. Where was I going with that? That it is holding it up, like it's providing structure to the interior and exterior at the same time, I guess. I think that's where I was going. I don't know anymore. Right. Fine, let's do a count. We'll do these two, and then we're going to do a count of Kato cuts. Actually, no, I'm just going to do it now. 1, 3, 7, because those are 2 doubles. 11, 13, because we are doubling up on some of them. We're doubling up on the wallpaper cats, Fuji, the cat heads with fish, and then the other wallpaper cats. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I'm going to go with 20. Like, count to 20. 20. 22, 24. 26. 28. 30. 32. 34. 36, 38, 40, 42, 43, 43, 44, 46, 48, 51, 53, 55, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. Sorry, I gotta answer that. I don't know who that's from. It was a spam call. I should probably block the number, but whatever. Okay, so we're at 60, 62, 63, 64, 66, 68, 70, 72, 74, 76. Hello, pretty boy. Yes, you are pretty boy. I agree. What's up, pretty boy? 80. Right? Yeah, 80. Or is that 60? No, 80. Okay. From 20 off, whatever, in the grand scheme of it. 80. 82. 84. 86. 88, 91, 91, 93, 94, 96, 98, 100, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 19, 21, 22, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 34, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 44, 46, 47. Yeah, we're nowhere near what I thought we were at. 748, 52. Sorry to anyone who is currently counting their knitting. 52, 54, 56, 58, 60, 62, 64, 66, 68, it's right there, 68, 70, 80, 90, 20, 22, 24, 6, 8, 30, 32, 34, 36. So 236 still to go. Jesus. All right. I don't know if that makes it better or worse. And we might also be off in our counts. It could be 236. It could be 216. I'm not 100% sure right now. I might have fucked up one of the counts. That's okay. It's not like anyone's gonna die for me fucking up the counts on bags. I'm sewing bags, not performing surgery. Why are you too tall? You should not be too tall. Needs to be brought back into line. The bunnies are too tall. And I think the Saigai cats up there are too tall too. They're a little bit too wide for sure, but that's okay. That's easier to deal with than too high, because these should match as we go. There. Are you also too tall? You look like you're too tall. Damn it. Really? No, you're the right height. Weird. Okay, whatever. How many did I say I actually had? So if I have 236 right now, that means that my counts for pockets are off. Shit. Yay. Okay, I'll have to do a proper count when we're actually trimming these up and taking them off the interfacing bolt, because that does need to be accurate. Because if I need to go get more pockets, I have to go do it when the kids aren't around, because you can't take kids under 12 into the Goodwill bins. Which, fair enough. Makes sense to me. want to take my kids into the bins right now anyway. How do you reheat corn on the cob? I like boiled corn on the cob last night, and again, overestimated how much the kids were going to eat. They only ate like half a piece each, which I will remember next time. So I've got like a whole cob left, and I'm like, can I reheat it? Or should I like grill it to reheat it, which would provide a little bit of char and stuff like that. It definitely could have used, I could have probably boiled it for a bit longer. It's like I'm not worried about cooking it more, but it also feels like it's one of those things you don't put in the microwave. Because it's not popcorn, obviously, but I feel like it would still explode the kernels because of like just how microwaves work. The water content of corn and stuff like that. I don't know if I'm making that up in my brain. I should probably look it up, but that's what I'm thinking happens. I don't know though. Also have like the options of like an air fryer or something like that. I'm just thinking that if we're not going to reading in the park, what I'll do is I'll cook. Well, even if we, yeah. What I'm going to do is I got pizza pops yesterday. So the kids are going to get pizza pops tonight. Phone in dinner like every other night. It's all good. But I have leftovers then from last night. We've had that cucumber salad though on repeat with the Japanese like flavors and stuff like that. It's so good, and the kids both really enjoy it too, so that's been good. And I think my task tonight while they're chilling, so I'm going to work on pulling the rest of those elastics on the grime guards. And actually, now that we have the next set of interior tags, we could actually sew the remainder of the black ones. It should be fine. So maybe that's part of what we'll do tomorrow, just to give a body break. At the same time, I should cut interiors. All the interiors and all of the canvas. Maybe I should, well, no, because I'm like, and then I could sew tomorrow. And I'm like, but I don't have much to sew at this point, really. We need the canvas before we can do, well, we need the canvas and we need the interfacing adhered before we can do that smashed together. So yeah, I guess this week's just continuing the big cut. Oh, we could do water bottle holders. So we definitely have a big stack of them, like ready to sew. Don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see how tonight goes, I guess, as part of it. yeah, so we're just going to continue to crank along. Interfacing on the pieces. I will have to cut the interiors for the small box bags before I do the interfacing for them. Then they get placed individually. Which now that I think of it, I should be doing them in just like swaths. I'll try and see if I can figure that out. Because this is only so wide too, so it's like figuring out how to actually get that applied might be a bit of an issue. Also, it depends if I actually have enough to start the small box bag cuts once we do these. So I need to do another count of what's actually getting done. Well, I guess that's not super accurate. Shit. I guess, yeah, it's the more accurate count is actually going to be the drawstring channels mostly. Because I'm thinking there's a few that have already been interfaced that just need canvas and like, oh, this is messy. Gross. Okay, so I'm gonna have to look at the ones that are like already interfaced but need canvas, because they are included in that pocket count, and I don't know where they are right now. I don't know where they are. We're not gonna be able to sew them, but maybe I just go off the cuts that are getting done right now, because there's some of them in there that I want to do, like the oranges. I can't remember if they got in. No, they just. I don't know if they got interfaced originally or not. I feel like we interfaced a bunch of stuff before Odafest and then I ran out of time to make the Kato. I can't remember right now. I also need to go in and finish sewing the dark straps. So we've got strap stock for Knit City. And then, yeah. The other thing I should go and do is I should select our rounds. Actually, no, OB will happen after Knit City, because we'll need to restock. I want to have a higher stock on the OB products for Art Market, which means the first step being selecting and doing the initial cuts for interfacing so that I can go out and Scotch guard them. They'll need to be Scotch guarded in the... Hopefully I can do them on the deck again. But like worst case scenario, I'll do them in our garage. I just don't want to do them in the garage because like the scent compounds after them are like insane. So they don't smell after they dry, but during the process of Scotch guarding them, boy, it's nasty. So prefer to do it outside because it's still nasty, but at least it's like it disperses faster. I do have the proper safety equipment for it this time. I didn't the first time, but that's okay. I'm still here. And after that first time, I was like, oh boy, no, I need like a proper respirator and shit. I don't know why it's the popcorn song today. Why is the vocal stem popcorn? Trucking along. All things considered, as much as I'm bitching about, like, oh, it's so slow, we're going ahead with all the stuff. One bag at a time, hey? Ugh. Wait for the next set of fabrics to go on. And then you'll have to take this roll, and what we do is we trim it up, and then the pieces go into the press individually. But yeah, there's just like a big pile of interfaced fabric on my feet, slowly gathering upon my feetsies. So that's good. Cats. Meow, 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 meow. There's actually, so if you're of the age of me, you've probably heard of Kingdom Hearts. Anyway, the Final Fantasy Disney matchup, they finally started, like, actually kind of promoting Kingdom Hearts 4. I'm like, this game series is getting out of hand right now. I don't know. It was getting out of hand by 3, where it was like we waited 13 years for the sequel. Like, we were actually discussing it. It's like, that's an insane amount of time, because it's not only like 2 console generations, which is probably part of what actually held up the production, but also it's like we literally went from me playing the like Kingdom Hearts 2 to trying for children in that time. So like the demographic shifted drastically. Also, the gameplay demos right now just look boring. In 3, there's a lot of really good critiques more than criticisms of 3. In that, like, in the first 2, you were able to actually, like, add the characters to your, like, party and stuff like that. But like the big holdup that I've heard for 3 was the fact that they wanted to add Frozen in, and then you can't even add Elsa or Anna into your party, which is bullshit. And then the other critiques being like the lack of, basically it was open world with a lack of actual like characters in the world, so it just felt empty and like stuff like that. I don't know. My favorite one actually still of the series so far has been Dream Drop Distance, which is like the original Keyblade people, which was a lot of fun. I liked that one. And 3 wasn't bad, but I think the biggest thing is it would have been fine if it hadn't taken 13 years. Like if it had been like a 2 to 3 year gap, kind of like 1 and 2. Actually, I think 1 and 2 was 5 years, but whatever, like similar gap, right? Because you still want a good game. But like for the amount of time that it took for us to get the sequel, it fell flat. It was like, this is meh. I don't know. And then there was actually some good critiquing of like, it's very misogynistic. It's like the old boys club sort of mentality again, which is part of what Final Fantasy has fallen into, like that sort of shit. Which is also a very like Japanese like social failing as well in some ways. But yeah, so it's like, what do you mean you can't play Kyrie? And then the other big critique is it's like, and then you actually get into like the super cool like boss battle part, and then it's like, and then it's just done. Right? So yeah, anyway, it was a good feedback on it, I think. Okay. If there are gaps in the interfacing, what we'll do is we'll just patch it. Not a big deal. Most of these are within the seam allowances anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. Coffee. I don't know why I stood up in the first place, but here we are, standing. Oh, it's because I did counts. That's right. Like I need a spot to put the fabrics. I still think my counts are off though, so it was kind of useless. I knew it'd kind of be useless anyway, but you know, just sometimes you gotta go with the thought process. Let's pull the water over here so I don't have to stand up for it when it's time. It'll be coming up on time here soon. More coffee. Coffee, 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 coffee. Okay. Oh. Handles. Just one handle apparently. Cool. All right. Apparently some of these pieces are wider. Sweet. weird. They should all be the same width. I definitely like did the cuts with the intention that they were the same width. So I don't know what's up here. But oh well. I need to like split the difference and start stacking. When it lines up with the top of the next one, we're going to start stacking on the other side. And that should even it out, hopefully. Like a lip on the iron, and it likes to get under the fabric and help lift it up instead of like just gliding. Doesn't help that the iron is sticky, but still, it's like, come on, don't do that. Oh, I guess I shouldn't have pulled that far. Okay, pull it up a little bit. There we go. Get that away, please. Thank you. Okay, there's the reset. So we'll start lining up the Kato from this side and see if that helps just kind of even everything out. Maybe, maybe not. It's not gonna make it worse, probably. This is like Shima Inagawa fabric, the little snow tit fabric, long tail tit, snow fairy. Whew, that was a slip. Anyway, it's like super cute, but it's really light, so it crinkles really fast and easy. It's like, whew. Lots of interfacing for it. Or, yeah, interfacing definitely required. Got about 2 hours left. I'm gonna have this coffee and I'm gonna have a nap this afternoon. So I'll probably head out in about an hour, mostly because this is also like a stream of consciousness. It's kind of like calmed down. There's not a lot of other stories to tell right now. Yeah, so that's where we're at. But we'll keep them working together for a little bit. I think I figured out why the live streams have worked so well for so long. Is it's like kind of like a body doubling. I am probably some sort of neurospicy. I don't know what type. But I'm pretty sure we have both like ADHD and autism on my side, because it would explain a lot. But I don't have any like specific diagnosis. And I think honestly, body doubling in some ways works really well for anyone, especially with tedious tasks. So, but I like the term. I'm not necessarily using it as a because of spiciness. There you go. Hello, Dahlia. Yes, what's up, sweet pea? Yes, we're here. Hello. You are an itty bitty kitty. Yes. We can hear you. Everyone on the internet can also hear you. Hello. Did you just wake up from your nap? She's like, oh God, what is that that steam breathing thing that's up there? Ah. Also, by the way, thank goodness. So we had canceled our like Vernon leg of this vacation a few weeks ago. Just time, money, etc. And thank goodness we did, because the Okanagan actually ended up like mostly on fire right before we left. I think Summerland and Peachland were like been hit the hardest. A lot of people lost their homes, and like whole communities basically. So I'm hoping everyone is safe or got through it safe. And then now there's another one that's burning. It's basically closed down the Trans-Canada on the other side of the Coquihalla, because it's just was no way to stop it. And the main transportation route through that area is not actually the Trans-Canada, but it is the Coquihalla. So it's like, holy shit. Anyway, it was a good idea that we canceled in Vernon, because there's also a fire going on up there across the lake from Vernon, but still in the area, and a lot of evacuations. So the hotel rooms were needed, as was. So here's hoping they get more rain and like less windy days, because that's part of what helps carry it. Water. Time for more water in the iron. Man, this is such a like trippy fabric. I can see it on the camera, but even in person, it's like, it feels like one of those magic eye optical illusions. Also, we've actually gotten more on this out of this roll of interfacing than I anticipated. I thought we would already be through it by this point, so happy with that at least. It feels like it's maxed. I can't tell. Oh well. It's filled. It's got more water in it than it did like 15 seconds ago, so that's what matters. More coffee. Good, good. I'm gonna press these up first, and then we'll do more handles, and then we'll scroll it down and get some more exterior on here. Two very different vibes of cat fabrics. One's like the bonsai calicos, and one's like little black cat silhouettes in between. Florals, this one, the middle one, is definitely more subtle. You can kind of see that there's cats on there, but they like blend in with the florals quite well. No! That one is trying to get swallowed up by the fabric. Come here. On herself. Haha, I reached it. We did it. I feel like I'm having to turn the majority of these. You know, as soon as I turn the pile, they're going to like stop facing that direction. But for now, here we are. All right, where are we at? Turtles. Turtles first. Hachiware, tuxedo cats. Seigaiha, the wave cats. Seigaiha neko, kuro neko to hana desu. Black cat and flowers. Mike neko, that's like tricolor cat. Mike neko to bonsai. Pinku na desu. Oh, I gotta figure out. I've got dense starting soon too. Oh my goodness, everything's just gonna kind of like. I'm freaking out about Knit City, but like everything is starting here. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, okay, tack them down. Not quite party animals. Basically, they're doing a bunch of like coexisting items. Someone knitting, someone drinking juice, conversations, book reading, etc. No, wait, I think it's actually supposed to rain tomorrow. Should take a look at the forecast because if I'm planning to go take photos of bags outside tomorrow, rain is not a good way to do that. Yeah, it might just be that Friday might be the better option for that then instead of tomorrow. To be good. Have a full day at home tomorrow instead of, because yesterday we still had to run errands and stuff like that and pick up the cats and like the big one is grocery shopping. Don't know what that tune's from. All right. Good thing it's cute fabrics. Right now I'm bored. Bored. Yes, Mr. Floofmeister. I see ya. You're not that sneaky because you're really fluffy. What's that? String floof underneath. So right now what we're doing, if you're just joining in, is we're going through and we are tacking down all of the exteriors for the Kato onto the interfacing that we'll be using for the Kato. Why I do it this way is that I was finding that I was spending an inordinate amount of time, so I would cut it, I lay it out, cut it to the piece, and then have to, when I got over to the steam press, wiggle it around and get it resettled. So I started tacking down the fabric onto the interfacing before I even trim the interfacing, because I found that in my brain, at least, I'm pretty sure I'm saving time by not having to basically rematch it when we get over to the steam press. Also means I'm not losing interfacing and stuff like that. Is it perfect? No, I have pieces that fall off all the time. But typically it's it's in a pile at my feet right here right now. And typically it ends up basically being very obvious where that piece has come from. So this is also how I end up doing a lot of the obi cuts. Same thing, especially with the obi, because they, or not even the obi, but the kimono are can be very slippery. And so this helps mitigate slippage of the kimono and obi and stuff like that when we're cutting, especially with the curves that they end up being cut into on a regular basis. So yeah, here we are, just chugging along. It is a tedious process. As I mentioned at the very beginning of the stream, there's a good reason why I did not touch fusible interfacing for the first many years of bag making. I don't even know how many. Even for, yeah. I don't think the bags suffered for it. But I do think that the bags are better now with the fusible interfacing. So and Tara's gonna come out. I'm gonna put her on steam press on Sunday afternoon. We have to be halfway at this point, though. I hope we're halfway at this point. I did do a count. That tells me nothing, though, because honestly, I'd have to recount the pile again right now, which is dumb. But I'm pretty sure we're halfway at this point. We have to be. Or if we're not, we have to be damn close. So I am actually shocked how long this roll of interfacing is lasting, because I swore up and down that we would be, or I assumed that we would be done with it by this point at least. But nope, so far so good. We're still actually going pretty strong. I do have another roll of interfacing. We are going to need it, if not for this, then for the start of small box bags. But hey, I'll take it. I like when I underestimate the amount of boring stuff I have. Buying the interiors and the interfacing and all the working parts for it are spectacularly boring. Going and buying doing the bins and the thrifting for the sheets isn't quite as bad, but it still doesn't beat going and buying the Japanese fabric, obviously. So. Dude, what kind of mischief are you up to? Flynn? Is this because you don't have your blanket out yet? Probably, hey? Still packed up from my mother-in-law's yesterday. Or from, yeah, pick up yesterday. Mischief. What kind of mischief are you getting into, Cat? Yeah, seriously. Yes, what are you doing back there? This one's practically line up across the color differences. What's up, Flynn? Really? That's quite a statement, yes. Wow. What? Did I take over your chair and then didn't put your blanket on it? And now I'm like ignoring you? So what's up? Probably. He likes to like, I've been putting he's got like what we would typically use for a picnic blanket. And it's been sitting on the chair. But I haven't unpacked the picnic blanket yet. It's not a picnic blanket anymore, it's the cat's blanket. But yeah, it's not down here yet. And it's what he's been using mostly, even when it's been on the floor. Sugar gliders. I'm gonna make small box bags out of it. I think there's a back cut and we'll do glasses cases out of the back cut. Actually, yeah, that's something else we haven't prepped yet is glasses cases, which would be good for Knit City, but particularly good for Art Market. They need their fish cut first though, and then they get interfaced, so that's another day's project. Although I could take the stiff interfacing upstairs and do the fish. So I might do that. Who knows? Okay, we're almost to the end of this roll. I'm gonna pull the rest of it off, I think. And then we'll shove it back up there above the canvas roll. Come on, thank you. Yeah, come here, baby. Haha, success. Okay. All right, so now there are going to be some double ups on the Kato that we're making, simply because I know it's going to be popular, or at least I'm going to assume it's going to be popular. One of those being the cranes here. No, that's not for you, bud. Yes, I know. You are a cat, and you are like, where is my spot anymore, lady? You haven't reestablished my spot. Do you want me to go get your blanket? Yeah. Okay, let me go get your blanket, and then you can have a snuggle down. Okay, give me a moment. I'm going to run upstairs. I'm taking you with me. We're not pausing. I just got to grab the cat blanket, and I'm pretty sure I know where it is. Okay. Actually, it's not even that far. I thought it was in the garage still. Here, do you want your blankie? Yeah. Will that help? Do you want to come sit on the chair beside me? Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, what a statement. Yes, I agree, but also you can't sit on the cutting table right now. Here. Do you want to come sit beside me? Yeah. Are you the fluffiest of the floofmeisters? Mm-hmm. Really? That's quite a statement, bud. Here you go. There you go. Do you want to sit beside me? Yeah, is that better? I'm going to fill up the water bottles while I'm up. Mm-hmm. Come join me, kitty. Probably could actually set that blanket up on the cutting table and it would be okay, but for now, this is good. Hi, I'm coming back, don't worry. Come here, come here, sit on your spot. That's my spot. I know, and you can't use an iron because you don't have opposable thumbs, as much as you might wish to. All right. Yeah, all right, scoot over. I'm gonna sit, or I'm gonna stand for a bit. Shifting it back and forth so we're not as much at risk for an RSI. Repetitive stress injury. Okay, and then I can actually use this chair instead of this one. So Finn's like, you can't see him right now, but he is just down here chilling with us. He's all like, hell yeah, I've got my blanket back. Woohoo. Right? Hell yeah. Blanket time? Oh, yes. Can you guys actually hear him on the mic? I can never tell. Well, actually, no, never mind. I could tell if I actually looked at the mic when he meowed. I'm going to assume you can hear at least some of the background noises. So my assumption is you can hear him. Same as I'm pretty sure you can hear Dahlia, but that makes sense because she also like screams at us. So she's got the screams. All right, we're doing cranes. And then we're going to do handles over here. Oh, that crane fabric's so fucking good. I'm so excited for it. I'm actually thinking I might need to go down. Because like if we're not doing a lot of tote bags anymore, which we're not, or large box bags, we don't need as much fabric anymore. So I'm wondering if I should like start. Okay, most of the time I end up with like 2 meters of fabric. But the way stuff is going, I'm wondering if I should be getting like 1 to 1.5 meters of fabric, which means that we could get like more prints. Like that's the benefit. That's the trade-off, is that I would be able to get more prints in like literally double pretty much. Now there's obviously still some fabrics that I'd buy more of, but rather than buying like 3 meters, buy 2 meters. And I think that's what I'm like leaning towards doing, because I'm like, I'm not using up the 2 meters very quickly. Like most of these still have well over 1 meter worth of fabric left. Not all of them. Although I do dither when I'm down to the last little bit sometimes, so it's like that might not be to my benefit. I don't know. But that was just like all of them. Anyway, I need to kind of assess maybe what I have in the stash and see if that is the correct route for like this next trip in October. It's not the craziest idea I've had. So we'll see. I'm like kind of hemming and hawing about whether I do still do a checked bag on the way there, because I was like, I tried the what is going on here? Tried the backpack duffel. What I'm worried about though is it's like carrying it around at Kitano might be really taxing, and it might be nice to have the wheeled rolling case. Because what I'm thinking is about having to heft it onto a Shinkansen, and like the transit between Kitano and Kyoto Station to get on that. Now I could take a taxi, but taxis aren't cheap in Japan. because the transit system's so robust. Shock. Yeah, I don't know. But I also kind of want to just go with like a carry-on suitcase at the same time. I'm like, what do I do? Because part of what I was thinking is it's like the rolling suitcase will not be happy about it, but I could take it and like to Nomura, and I could pack it down with 80 to 100 pounds worth of fabric, and like that's a really easy way to transport the fabric between Nomura and Kuroneko, which is the Takubin or the like luggage forwarding service that I use to get it to Narita. So it's like, and if I'm bringing the rolling suitcase, then I may as well bring my comfy trekking pack instead of the not so comfortable duffel backpack. So now I'm like torn. Also sucks because then if I don't use it, it's kind of a waste of the bag. Not a big deal, but annoying. Also just, yeah, the big thing is I just do not want to have to pick up checked luggage in Narita, because it's like that just, if I don't have to pick up checked luggage, well, actually it's not as, no, never mind. I was like, it's not as big a deal because like I can take a Nozomi train. But the problem is that the last next out of the airport is quite early actually. But at the same time, WestJet doesn't run late very often. I don't know. And you're like, we really don't care. Just show us the fabrics. Don't blame you. Not offended about that in the least, because even I'm bored with this. Meandering topics. Although the benefit, so there are a couple benefits to this like duffel pack, is like one of the big ones being it's half the weight of the trekking pack, because the trekking pack has like a big frame and everything like that. And that's why it's more comfortable though too, is because it's made to be a trekking pack. So it's like, yeah, totally pack it down with like 10 days or more of like backpacking gear and take it into the backcountry. It's set up for like to do that, whereas this other one is like, here, you're like fucked up your luggage allowance. Right? Because so in my head, why it was a good thing is it's like we got really light duffels from Samsonite for our last trip. They're like 1 pound a piece. They easily hold the 50 pounds worth of fabric. They need some compression sacks to protect the fabric because there was some like transfer onto the fabric that was in those bags. So that was a learning curve. That's fine. It's easy to fix. But like, yeah, so you can pack like an extra 9 pounds worth of fabric into those bags, which when you're doing this sort of trip is a lot. Because the more fabric I get, the more I can spread out my costs. Blah, 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 blah. Keeps it more economical for everyone. But this trekking backpack, where it was going to serve me, or I was planning for it to work, was like going to, or not the trekking, the duffel backpack, sorry, was for going to Kitano, because I don't want to have like carry around a like carrying around a 50-pound duffel, which is what I made Dallas do at Toji, doesn't work with me because my upper body strength is not, and endurance is not available for that right now. I am working on it, but it's probably not going to be there in the next 2 months, because 2 months. So I'm like, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. It's fine. Everything's fine. It'll be fine. Yes, that's right, right? It'll be fine. He's like, sure. Love me. Oh, I do love you. You're so fluffy. So fluffy. Okay, apparently I didn't fill this one up enough, so we'll put some more water in. Water in. Water in. That's one complaint I have about this iron. So it works way better than my Rowenta ever did, I'm pretty sure, which is super annoying because it's like a $35 iron versus almost, I think the last one was $150, $200. But like, I cannot see the water reservoir. Well, okay, you can, but it's really hard because it's really dark red and it's just really hard to see the water level as you're like filling it. It's like my one complaint about the iron. But my goodness, the shift from like the old Rowenta to this one last year is night and day. It's wild. I hadn't realized because I knew that the Rowenta was like it was starting to leak really badly, which is just a known Rowenta problem. I was fine with that. It wasn't staining the fabric or anything yet. But what was happening is it just was not as powerful as it had been when I originally got it. So I must have been like, it seemed like the element must have been dying, which makes sense. Not heating as well and stuff like that. So that's why we replaced it last year. And it was a good thing we did. But super annoying. The fish on the Saigai Ha with the koi, the neon Saigai or neon koi are actually all black light reactive, just as a heads up. You know, just to add a little bit of fun and pizzazz to the fabric. Oh, apparently I only started streaming 3 hours ago. So yeah, that's about right. Just before lunch. So that means that we actually did get a good chunk done today so far. Okay, I think we'll do this. We'll do a count, and then I'm gonna go have my rest. And then I'm going to try to be back on tonight, once the kiddos are in bed. Don't have anywhere to be specifically tomorrow, so I don't have to set an alarm or anything like that. She'll be good. And then I'll go pick them up from camp. They had, they were like, we want to stay home this week. And then the eldest is like, wait, no, there's the science center field trip today. So that's why they're at camp today. So it's like, and not the rest of the week. It's because they decided they wanted to stay home, except for they wanted to go to the science center today. I'm like, sounds amazing. I love it. Give me a chance to like do some really good work, obviously. I still am actually doing pretty good on keeping up when they're home right now. So that's good. I'm trying not to feel guilty about the like iPad use, but that's okay. Educational programming. But yeah, I'm trying to kick this cold. What the hell's going on again before it gets worse? Okay. And honestly, depending on what our counts for the Kato are, we might have gotten the majority of them onto this roll of interfacing, which is fucking amazing. Obviously, we're like at the end, almost at the end here, but still. Actually, or should I work until the end of the interfacing roll? No. Timing. Timing is more important right now. Okay. Can do 2 more small box bag handles here. And like I said, well, you will do a count before I leave. And that will be where we're at for when I get back to this. Hopefully, like I said, tonight. That is the goal right now. We'll probably actually finish up the small box bag handles before we get to the end of this roll, which is pretty exciting. All right. Iron is unplugged, so we don't have to worry about that. Let's do our count, and then, yeah, rest time. And I will actually do a split up of the piles so that we know what the hell we're looking at. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, it looks like we're doubling up on the Segai hot prints. That's fine. That's actually good. Potentially, I don't know. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and then this is the whole block here, so 27, 29, 31, 33, 37, 39, 40. Okay, yeah, we definitely got through quite a bit there after lunch. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. Yeah, the thing I'll do is I'll load up the other roll of interfacing before I head upstairs. 45, 46, 48, 50, 52, 54, 56, 58, 60. Okay, so we're probably around 100 right now. 62, 64, 66, 68, 70, 72, 475, 77, 78, 79, 80. Okay, 2, 4, 6, 8. What was that? 80. Yeah, that's 88. 91. Because, you know, these are all folded up. 91. 2, 94, 96. 98. 100. Okay, so the 100 count is the neon cat heads. That actually helps quite a bit. So that's when we're down to 100 to do. Okay, so we're just over 100 right now. So if we are around that 276 mark, we're doing really fucking good. Like, really fucking good. Okay, good. So that was 100. This is probably 40, maybe 50. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, so that's 120. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So 139 left to do. Cool. And then 139 Kato. 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 28, 31 handles left to do. Yeah, so I think these will be done probably, but like just at the end of this roll amount, or like, yeah, just before probably. Okay, so 139 Kato exterior still to interface, which means we are at the halfway point, maybe ish. What did I end up counting? I think it was 276 Kato. 248 new, 25 old cuts. So it was 273 total. So we're just under halfway for the Kato. I don't know if the 25 old cuts had been interfaced. I don't remember that much, but yeah, we have to cut 273 interiors and 546 pockets. That's a lot of interiors and pockets. I hope I have enough pocketed fabric right now. Anyway, we're gonna try. We'll try. So yeah, 139 remaining. All right, I'm gonna go plot out our day tomorrow, because if the weather's not good, then we'll go into the city on Friday instead. I'm gonna put this roll interfacing up without you guys on camera, because then I'm not all grunty and groany, and yeah, we don't need those noises in the mic necessarily. And then I will try my best to be back on tonight to chat with y'all and hopefully do the remainder of the interfacing. If we're about halfway, yeah, it said that we started just over 3 hours ago. What was it, 3:46? So we probably have another 3.5-ish hours, considering that we did cut down the fusible fleece and I had a lunch break in there. Yeah, probably 3.5 hours. Anyway, hope y'all have a fantastic day whenever you are, and I'll chat with y'all soon. Bye.